again, you think all meatballs are created equal? Oh man, oh man, oh man. Time to think again. Beef and veal and pork, and then the all-important sauce. Ray, 5 pounds of it.
Rick, this is as authentic as it gets, but this is what brings me back to my childhood. I will tell you that on Sunday mornings, just right as soon as church let out, we'd get home. When we got home, my mother was rolling the meatballs with beef, pork, and veal, and that's a raw, authentic Italian meatball. It's got to have all three because.
Oh, really? That's kind of the.
Yes,
that's
the veal.
law.
That's the law, right? The veal is going to give you a really nice soft texture. The pork and the beef flavors add to that, so you get a flavor like you've never had before. But this is what a meatball should do. I want you to see this meatball, Rick. This is a plastic fork. I'm not going to use a fork that's
great.
This is a plastic fork. Now, look at this. You've got to be able to go right through your meatball with a plastic fork for it to be an authentic Italian meatball. And of course, when you start with beef, pork, and veal, and then you start with real ingredients, which includes cheeses and different parsleys and a little bit of garlic, then you've got something that is a tradition. So my dad would be rolling, my mother would be frying or baking, and then of course, the pot of sauce. Now, we always finish these in sauce, and we've made these for you the same way. So once we made the meatballs, we fried the meatballs, they went into that sauce, and they just simmered like you're seeing right here. Then we packed them for you.
So let's get into that, what I'm getting, and that sauce that's with it. So the sauce is infused with each pack.
So what we've done is we've made
5
sure
1 pounds.
after we have been simmering them meatballs for hours in this sauce, you know what's happening to that sauce? It's going into that meatball, and that's when you get that real authentic flavor. So you're getting 5 of these pouches at home. There's 6 meatballs in each pouch. They're fully cooked. The sauce is done, the meatballs are done. All you've got to do is heat this up. Now, Rick, you can drop this bag just in some warm water and they'll get warm for you. You can take it out of the pack and do it in a skillet, or you can do what I did here. I just dropped them all inside of a pot, and inside that pot, I've got them simmering. But it's what makes a meatball give you the flavor. But here's the secret ingredient. So I'm going to give you the secret ingredient.
Of the sauce?
Of the meatball. So most people make meatballs with breadcrumbs. That's the binder. That's not the way authentic Italians make meatballs. What we do is we take loaves of Italian bread, we soak them in water for about an hour, and then all we do is pull that bread apart. The soaked bread apart. We pull it apart and actually mix it and fold it in with the beef, the pork, and the veal. And of course, that beef, pork, and veal is what makes the difference. Again, not mystery meat in our meatballs. Real pork, real veal.
Why
beef.
the 3?
Because those flavors are what gives you a real authentic flavor, but it's also the texture. We all know veal is extremely tender, so we make sure that's going to be very, very soft on the bite. The beef gives you that hardiness of beef, but the pork adds that flavor. So when you mix the pork and the beef together, you get just a real authentic meatball, and you get the veal that's actually going to be giving you that flavor, but the tenderness. So I'm going to let you go through one of those.
I'm going to go through one of those.
Right with the fork.
I want to add some of that sauce to it too,
you can
my
do
friend.
that. Yep.
Because that sauce is, it's a really, really interesting. It's not like the sauces that I grew up with. Like, what are the canned sauces that you might get at a supermarket or something?
Yeah, well, you really don't know what's in that. These are real, authentic Italian plum tomatoes.
Yeah.
Right?
You know what I get? I'll tell you something, because I've been to Italy numerous times. It's actually, the one thing you get when you go real Italian sauce, it's not overly sweet.
No.
It's cleaner. It's more understated. It's more subtle.
Yes, it's
more
very,
pure.
very, very fresh taste. Now, these are big meatballs. These are 2-ounce meatballs. So these are not tiny meatballs. So if you're gonna go ahead and make one of my favorites, which is meatball, provolone, and broccoli rabe.
Yeah, they're
sandwich,
big.
Right? They're big meatballs. So
that's what you use. So I've never had one of those
I
either.
like doing broccoli. Now,
broccoli rabe.
I'm only going to need 2 meatballs on this, because all I'm going to do basically is slice these with my plastic fork, go right between them.
Because those half meatballs are the size of a regular meatball.
The size of a regular meatball. So I've got a sandwich here that's just absolutely wonderful.
So
and
2 meatballs make a sandwich.
A full sandwich, because of the size. They're very big. And you're noticing inside the meatball, you'll notice the particulates, right? You'll see the parsley, you'll see some of the basil, you'll see the garlic and some of the sauteed onions that are in there. But what you're going to taste is the beef, pork, and veal texture, and of course that sauce
I'm in.
that it's simmered in for literally
Oh,
2
my God.
hours, right?
Oh, great.
Yes.
So simmering and sauce, all infused with it. So they're easy to make. So the easiest way to make them, and nobody does it like you when it comes to instruction. This has got to be one of the easiest things you do.
It is the easiest. I will tell you that this is that item that when I get home late from work and I get home at 7 or 8 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and I feel like something really good, I take this right out of the freezer because these are going to be frozen. From frozen, I take this, drop this in a hot
Boiling water.
boiling, not boiling, but just hot water, right?
Okay.
Because I just want this to get warm. I cut the top off. And I'm going to make 2 or 3 sandwiches out of this because there's 6 meatballs in every one of these, and these are big meatballs. Right?
Guess what? Buy payments of $16, free shipping and handling, like everything in the show. Today's special value, you love the one-time only value, the scampi, fantastic. I love the Faroe Island salmon. And now we got the meatballs to wind this thing up. I love that Italian heritage, and that you, for not being for so many years now the #1 food brand. The bar's up here, and you never lower the bar, Ray, in terms of the ingredients, in terms of the flavor.
Well, you know, Rick, as an Italian household, we kind of live around the kitchen table. And the best thing you could have is something everyone's going to be thrilled with. These meatballs, I promise you, once you get these meatballs at home and you just heat them up, because remember, they're fully cooked. You don't have to do any cooking. Just heat them up the way I did here. You're going to taste what my family has been tasting now for generations. And it's become, it's a tradition. It's very, very simple.
Guess what? Lots of servings with this. 5 pounds beef, veal, pork, all in these great best-in-class meatballs with that sauce.
Simple.
One line on today's special value.
Oh, today's special value. We're going to fill your freezer. You're going to get the meat sweats no matter what. But you can bet that for the entire summer, fall, spring, winter, you've got enough meat to fill that freezer.
We're going to say goodbye. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
We're going to say hello. We're going to say hello.
Short David.
So come on in, Jane Tracy, to keep you shopping
David,
here.
a very, very, very short David Venable.
But big in personality, big in love.
Yes,
How
when
about
I
that?
lack in height, I make up in volume.
Coming up in 1 minute. Stay tuned. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.